Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Amita Balachandra. This is just the news. I'm standing in for Faith today. Let's get straight to it. Now, India has reported 70,421 new COVID cases and 3,921 deaths in the last 24 hours. Now, this is India's lowest daily rise in new COVID cases since April 1st. Now, for the seventh straight day, India's positivity rate has been below the 5% mark at 4.71%. In the meantime, according to Mumbai civic body BMC, Asia's largest slum Dharavi has reported 0 cases for the first time today. Now, the total tally of infection in the slum so far is 6,861. It was reporting around 1 to 2 cases since May 31st this year. Now, also in the news, Uttarakhand has extended its COVID curfew till June 22nd. The Uttarakhand government has allowed people from 3 districts, that is Chamoli, Rudraprayag and Uttarakarshi, to go for the Char Dham Yatra with a negative RT-PCR test. Haryana has also extended its lockdown till June 21st with some relaxations. Shops in the state can now stay open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day, while malls will be allowed to operate from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, according to news agency ANI, All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi will start recruitment for clinical trials of Covaxin from June 15th onwards for children who are in the age group of 6 to 12 years. Now, it's also said that clinical trials of children aged 2 to 6 will begin post that. Now, the report also said that recruitment and clinical trial for single dose of Covaxin for those aged 12 to 18 has already been concluded. Now, in other news, according to reports by Indian Express and India Today, Uttar Pradesh's opposition parties, including the Samajwadi Party, have made allegations that the Ram Mandir Trust that was set up by the centre was involved in an illegal land deal. Now, the opposition parties have alleged that 2 real estate dealers purchased a property from an individual for 2 crore rupees and minutes later sold it to the trust for 18.5 crore rupees. Now, the Trust's General Secretary Champath Rai has refuted these allegations. In a statement to news agency ANI, he has said, and I'm quoting him, "Some political leaders are misleading people. It is meant to mislead society. The people concerned are political and hence motivated by political hatred." Also in the news, India signed off on a joint statement by G7 and guest countries on open societies that reaffirm and encourage the values of freedom of expression, both online and offline, as a freedom that safeguards democracy and helps people live free from fear and oppression. Now, the statement also refers to politically motivated internet shutdowns as one of the threats to freedom and democracy. Now, participating in a video conference, the Prime Minister has said, and I'm quoting, "Democracy and freedom were a part of India's civilization ethos." Now, the joint statement at G7 said, and I quote, "We are at a critical juncture, facing threats to freedom and democracy from rising authoritarianism, electoral interference, corruption, economic coercion, manipulation of information, including disinformation, online harms and cyber attacks, politically motivated internet shutdowns, human rights violations and abuses, terrorism and violent extremism." End quote. On to some political news now. AAP leader Arvind Kejriwal has announced that the party will be contesting on all seats in the 2022 Gujarat Assembly elections. Now, Gujarat senior journalist Isuddin Gadvi has also joined the party in the presence of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. In 2021, AAP had won 27 out of 120 seats in the Surat municipal elections. Also in the news, former Telangana Minister Itala Rajender has now joined the BJP as of today in the presence of Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Now, Mr. Rajender was a senior leader of the TRS, holding top portfolios such as finance and health in the K. Chandrasekhar Rao-led TRS government in the state. He was removed from the cabinet over accusations related to land grabbing. In an update now in the West Bengal post-poll violence, two women, a 17-year-old minor and a 64-year-old woman, alleged that they were raped by TMC workers during post-poll violence and have now moved to the Supreme Court seeking for a SIT or a CBI investigation into the matter. Now, the 17-year-old alleged that the TMC workers who allegedly gang raped her said, and I quote, "Our party has won the elections, now let's teach her a lesson." Over 20 people, remember, were killed in West Bengal in the post-poll violence. Let's now take a look at what's making news in the world of business. The price of fuel was hiked again for the 24th time since the 1st of May. Now, the price of petrol in Mumbai is at 102.58 rupees per litre and diesel costs 94.7 rupees per litre. In Delhi, petrol costs 96.41 rupees per litre and diesel costs 87.28 rupees per litre. Currently, petrol is retailing above 100 rupee mark in at least 6 states and union territories across the country. This includes Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana and Ladakh. Now, the actual price is just about 36 rupees per litre and the rest is state and central taxes. Now, Union Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan on Sunday said, and I quote, "I accept that current fuel prices are problematic for people, but be it central or state government, over 35,000 crore rupees have been spent on vaccines in a year. In such dire times, we're saving money to spend on welfare schemes." He also goes on to say, Prime Minister Narendra Modi approved 1 lakh crore rupee under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana scheme to give free food grain to the poor for 8 months. And under PM Kisan, thousands of crores have already directly deposited in the bank accounts of our farmers. The MSP was hiked recently, and all of this is happening in the current year, end quote. Also in the news, shares of Adani Group companies crashed on the stock market after the National Securities Depository Limited took action against 3 foreign funds that are among the top stakeholders in the firms. All 6 listed Adani Group companies have plunged on stock exchanges to hit lower circuits after the development was reported. Lower circuit is when a stock or an index falls sharply in a single trading session and trading is suspended for the rest of the session. Now, shares of the flagship Adani Enterprises Limited declined as much as 25% to hit an intraday low of 1,201 rupees, down from last week's close of 1,601 rupees. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines across the world. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that the G7 countries will provide over 1 billion vaccine doses to poor countries as a big step towards vaccinating the world. Boris Johnson said, and I quote, "Already of the 1.5 billion vaccines that have been distributed around the world, I think that people in this country should be very proud that 500 million of them are as a result of the actions taken by the UK government in doing that deal with the Oxford scientists and AstraZeneca to distribute it at cost," end quote. Also making headlines is Naftali Bennett has been sworn in as the new Prime Minister of Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu's 12-year tenure as Israeli Prime Minister has come to an end. Now, the 49-year-old Bennett is a leader of the right-wing Yamina party. Now, Netanyahu was Israel's longest-serving leader and will become the leader of the opposition now. Let's also take a look at what's making news in the world of sports. Novak Djokovic won his 19th Grand Slam title after a comeback against Greece's Stefanos Tsitsipas in the French Open final. Now, Djokovic is now one major title away from a record jointly held by Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer. Now, he's also the first man to win all 4 Grand Slams twice since the Open era began. Now, before we end the show, we leave you with something positive. Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, has said that the Delhi government launched a special COVID vaccination center for students and individuals who would be traveling abroad for studies and work. Now, the center has been set up at the Navyuk School on Mandir Marg. Athletes taking part in the upcoming Tokyo Olympics can also avail this facility. That's it on Just the News. Thank you so much for watching.